The people who buy them, do they not feel the type of way that like, oh, I'm taking them from his habitat
That's
and
the
stuff?
dumbest thing you've said.
I know, but I
That's
feel
the
like it still has
dumbest
to be
thing.
said.
No. Of
Yeah,
course they don't feel the type of way. That's like how
yeah,
vegans
but
are
then
like.
it's like,
That's like vegans and vegetarians saying to us, the people who eat meat don't just feel a type of way.
I
You're
don't know.
like, exactly.
Exactly. Unorthodox reactions, unorthodox
Testing.
intro.
By the way, guys, my what's it called item of the day challenge will come back. It's just I have no
It's
money
not
right
coming
now.
back. All right.
100% it's coming back.
It's
I
not,
will do
it's
it.
not.
Doesn't matter if he does it. I will do it. But I just have
Unorthodox
no money.
reactions, unorthodox intro. Welcome back, guys, to another unorthodox reaction.
I'm saying
We are
unorthodox so much.
glad to have you here today, of course.
We hope you guys have had a good summer
Come
break.
on, pull up a chair. You know, so it's all good. It's all good over here.
If it's your first time here, you have 5 seconds to subscribe. Otherwise, no, I'm joking. Welcome back.
Otherwise, the girl from the ring is gonna call out you, man.
Oh, that's that wipe.
Anyway, today we have for you a Casual Geographic video, and it is top 10 most wholesome animals, in my very biased opinion. His very biased, not mine, because, you know,
I'm sure
biased opinions differ. So we might not agree with this, but you know, he has more knowledge.
I'm definitely gonna agree. Oh my god, you will not believe what I saw. Because now that we're talking about Casual Geographics and he does animals and stuff like that, I saw a dog yesterday. Yeah, you know how I think I can wrap dogs, right? I can beat up a dog. I saw a dog yesterday. This dog looked like a polar bear. Like it was freaking ridiculous, bro. I said to my friend, I was like, "That's the one dog I'm losing to." Like it was intimidating. I don't know what breed it was. It was crossbreed. I'm sure
Or
someone.
is it one of them giant ones?
Yeah, I'm sure someone had sex with a polar bear or something because that dog was huge. I was like, what the flip? This is not normal. But yeah, story aside, I'm not beating up
I'm
that dog.
saying sizes and everything, but you know.
Oh no. When it comes to fighting, it is. Maybe what your
I
girlfriend's
feel
telling
like
you is a bit
technique
different.
is more important.
Is
as well.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because you know, it's like you could be the biggest person in the room, in
Yeah,
like a
but if you
fighting
don't know how
cage.
to use.
If you don't know how to punch properly,
Yeah.
then you won't be able to bring out all the power, would you?
Yeah.
Anyways, without further ado,
Someone's talking about something their girlfriends told them before.
that would be true if I ever had a girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know,
Exactly.
let's get right into it.
So, we hit 2 million subscribers on this channel. That
Yeah.
started because I thought Trump was gonna gulag TikTok. Which means there's enough of us to invade the state of Delaware and have pretty good odds doing it. So in honor of us reaching 1 million subs twice, and also since my mom said I should make more lighthearted videos so she doesn't have to lose sleep to support her son, here are the top 10 most wholesome animals you'll find in nature. While there will be accurate facts in this video, it will also be in my very biased opinion. And if you're a longtime supporter, you probably already know what the top 4 are gonna be.
No.
Also, a little side note before we get started.
That
When I call an
ugly-ass
animal
animal.
wholesome, I am assigning human characteristics to a wild animal. In real life, nature don't care about being
Oh.
wholesome.
Oh
It's
my
about the
God.
facts, and in the wild, morality gets you put on a t-shirt. Basically, what I'm trying to say is animals aren't good or evil, they're just them. But if you could
Survival.
only suspend your disbelief for the next at least 8 minutes, because you know mid-rolls, that'd be great. All that aside, at number 10 is an animal you probably wouldn't even expect.
He lied.
He lied.
Not even 8 minutes.
Honestly, you couldn't name 5 animals that
Not
have a
bad.
worse PR team than bats. Hollywood definitely didn't do them any favors reputation.
The vampire.
And a certain virus named after a beer only made it worse. But not only do they have a strong case for one of the most wholesome, you could also argue that bats may be one of the most impactful animals on Earth. First of all, there's a lot of them. About 25% of all mammal species identify as bats. A quarter of all the mammals on this planet are some type of this weird little bird mouse. And because bats contribute to society
Like
by
Gotham City
pollinating, if they
there.
don't snap them all into dust, the world's ecosystems would collectively collapse and food chains everywhere would become ground zero.
Oh,
Over
wow.
500 plants depend on
I feel like that's true for most species, though, isn't it? Because it's like every species need each other to survive, apparently, and the ecosystem.
bats to keep them in business, and losing them could affect your way of life in places you didn't even realize. Want to add some banana to your morning oatmeal? Chances are your breakfast was brought to you by bats. Enjoying a mango smoothie on the beach? You're probably
Explain yourself.
Kite's labor. Ever get some liquid courage in you, drunk text your ex, reconcile, through your issues, grow together as people, only to ultimately get married and start a life together? Yeah, probably not. But if you did, better invite a bat to the reception, because without them pollinating the plant agave, there'd be a lot less tequila and less happy mistakes in the world. And I mean that literally. Some of you might not be alive, Beyond that, every night millions of bats meal prep the insects that make our lives more difficult. It's estimated that bats save the United States anywhere from $3.7 up to $54 billion in agriculture just by being free pest control. Now, you're probably thinking, despite what you might think, the human population would be less healthy if it wasn't for these bats. Many bats help keep the mosquito population in check. Mosquitoes, which also happen to be air ubers for diseases like Zika and West Nile. But none of that really matters because bats were guaranteed a spot on this list off their looks alone. This bat was literally named after the fact that it looks like a fox.
It looks like a rat.
And if they didn't get the blame for putting us in quarantine, they probably would have ranked higher. Now, who didn't think cats were going to end up on?
Oh, damn right.
Probably murk us in our sleep.
Look at him. He already looks like he's planning a murder.
And I
no, cats are cute.
Cats might as well have just domesticated themselves. Cats originally came into our lives to snack on the mice that were after our food. But cats also changed minor things about themselves to be around us. While wild cats were
like,
solitary
yeah, you better pet me.
cats became more social and tolerant of people. Their reduced aggression and aversion to people made them ideal pets, and their diet of our enemy the rat made them the perfect travel partners as we explored this great.
That rat thought he saved his life.
Wait, rats actually eat cats actually eat rats? I thought they just like killing them or playing with them and then.
And then what, just discarding them?
Yeah. No, but there's some like people that I know that have had cats and they're like, yeah, no, my cat just kills rats.
Yeah, like
and
maybe
brings
like
it
the
to
ones
house.
that are like domesticated and stuff probably don't, because obviously they're probably used to eating cat food and stuff like that, and they don't really have a taste for mice. But normally cat should eat mice like instinctively.
Water. As long as we kept them fed, cats had no problem riding shotgun. Which is why we barely had to domesticate them ourselves. They were basically close to perfect from the beginning. Which is why where a Shih Tzu looks nothing like a wolf, a house cat still looks like it has a lot in common with its wild cousins. We never really needed a selection process for cats the way we did with other animals, because there wasn't a whole lot we needed to change.
Did they
And
cross
as
breed
cats
cats?
spent more time around us, they
They
started
do,
to
innit?
figure us out and adjust their behaviors accordingly. You've probably heard that normally adult cats don't meow to each other in the wild, but they'll do it with their owners since they know humans will react to that sound with more urgency. They even developed a special type of purr that most people find impossible to ignore just to ensure they get fed. But cats give as much as they take. There are legitimate health benefits to having a cat under your roof, which include lowering stress and anxiety and reducing the risk of heart disease. Studies even show that they can purr at a frequency that has therapeutic healing effects on human bones and muscles. And that's not even mentioning all the stories of cats valuing human lives enough to risk their own. Tara the cat went viral after saving her 4-year-old human from an attacking dog. Oreo here did the same, but instead of a dog, he took on a venomous rattlesnake to defend his family. And when Rick Chap suffered a near-fatal heart attack, it was his cat Buddy that saved his life by running across the house and getting his wife's attention. For an animal that looks constantly done with everything, cats really are just nature's tsundere. And if it wasn't for the billions of animals that get 404'd by outdoor cats, they definitely would have ranked higher. One of my favorite movies of all time is Into the Spider-Verse.
I don't like
If you
pets.
followed me on Instagram, you probably could have guessed that. And one of my favorite lines in the whole movie was
That him?
Yeah,
says,
that's dope.
"Could you imagine a seahorse seeing another seahorse and then making it work?" Well, he wasn't exactly lying. Seahorses are famous for two things. One is that it's actually the guys that are the ones that get maternity leave. Two is that they're monogamous and mate for life. Not all seahorses are loyal. In fact, some will actually switch partners mid-season. But some, like the New Holland seahorse, will find another seahorse and in fact find a way to make it work. Especially since the longer a seahorse marriage lasts, the more luck they have raising children. Of course, a healthy relationship doesn't just happen, which is why every morning seahorses will reinforce their pair bond with a dance. They often intertwine their tails and even sometimes change colors as they mirror each other's movements in their version of a waltz. It is aggressively wholesome. And then there's the fact that many
looks funny.
give birth, and some can pop out thousands of Xeroxes at once. And as soon as he does,
That
his
looks
partner's ready to knock
disturbing.
him up again. Now there are a few things that knock them down on the wholesome scale. Baby seahorses are known as fry, and occasionally the male takes this too literally by eating his own children.
Oh.
There's the fact that seahorses are one of the most efficient life takers in the ocean, with a hunting success rate of 90%. But overall, if you could have a
What do they
relationship
hunt,
like the
though?
seahorses, you'd probably take
Like
it. Or you
crustaceans.
want the marriage of another animal further down this list.
Something probably really
This
small.
animal was 100% a biased pick, and I'm not gonna
armadillo.
apologize for it. The pangolin earns the distinction of being the most polite animal I've ever seen. This is the look of an animal patiently waiting for his mom to get off the phone so he can ask her for $10.
Lisa, may I have some more?
To protect the dog, they often walk around on two legs, and the result is that they look like the embodiment of "excuse me, I don't mean to bother you." There's also the fact that underage pangolins are known as pankapups, and they'll often hitch a ride and even nap on their mother's tail. If there's anything negative about this turtle gerbil, I'm Helen Keller to it. Instead of being predictably related to armadillos, they're actually closer to carnivores like cats, dogs, and bears. And that is exactly the kind of defiance I respect. Pangolins will often take mud baths to help keep themselves parasite-free, but it somehow also manages to make them even more adorable. But because we can't have nice things, pangolins are the second most trafficked mammal by humans. The most trafficked are humans
Of course it would be.
which is what inspired this group of men from protecting this pretty privileged pinecone from perilous poachers. You better like this video. That sentence took way too long to pronounce. To raise awareness of their efforts, a photographer did a photo shoot of these men with, of course, their pangolins. Even with their population threatened, you can still count this live-action Pokemon to put a smile on your face.
That is really cute.
For a certain beer virus. And of course, there's that South Park episode about it. But like I said, I'm Ray Charles to any form of pangolin slander, and that's simply not going to change.
They're kind of long.
Yeah,
big,
but I don't like. What do poach? I know obviously they get to sell them and get money out of them, but like the people who buy them, do they not feel the type of way that like, oh, I'm taking them from his habitat?
That's the dumbest thing you've said.
I know, but I feel like it still has to be said.
No.
Yeah.
Of course they don't feel the type of way. That's like how vegans
Yeah, but then
are
it's like
that's like vegans and vegetarians saying to us, the people who eat meat don't just feel a type of way. You're like, exactly.
What does it look like?
Exactly.
But
that is
but then for you to have that realization, vegans had to say it, didn't they?
No.
Yes.
What do you mean?
For you to be able to say, of course I don't feel a type of way about it, and for you have to actually be able to say that decisively, you have to be asked the question, don't you feel that type of way?
Yeah, but the reason...
Genuinely, didn't you?
No, I didn't have to be asked that.
Yeah, you did.
Because animals eat animals. So why am I not eating animals if I'm another animal?
Okay, you consider yourself an animal. I'm refined and I'm a gentleman. Alright.
So you don't eat animals? No.
Of course I eat animals.
No,
I'm not an animal, alright?
You're not an animal.
I'm civilized.
Animals are civilized. Dogs don't go around killing whatever they see to eat.
Because they're fed.
Exactly.
Starve a dog for a couple of days, see who he eats.
Not me. Because I ain't starving that dog. No, if it's the polar bear I saw yesterday, I ain't starving that.
Starve a dog.
I'm not starving that dog, mate.
I'm just saying starve the dog, alright? I'm not advocating starving dogs. I'm just saying if a dog is hungry enough.
Don't call the RSPCA or whatever.
If a dog is hungry enough, I don't think it'll care what he eats. But if you get hungry enough, would you eat another human?
No.
Point taken and point made.
No. You probably would. Humans... Eventually, it gets to a point where if it's like, let's say it's me and you,
it'll have to be like an extreme
exactly.
situation.
Me and you, stranded we've been stranded for like 3 weeks now, and you're slowly dying. We haven't eaten in 3 weeks, but we've had water. Like we've been drinking lots of bits of water, right?
Yeah. And
you're slowly dying, and then you die, and then 3 days go by, and I'm still hungry.
I mean, at that point, just kill yourself.
No, maybe 2 days. Because
my skin is rotten. It probably do more harm than good.
Maybe 2 days. I'm not eating you. I can't. Maybe I
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a hard decision.
Maybe I would.
It's a hard decision to make.
I wouldn't. No.
But a dog, I don't think that's a decision that's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, but that's the animal instinct.
Exactly.
We don't have that animal instinct anymore. We used to.
We're more refined.
We used to have that animal instinct. We don't have it. Animal instinct. No one said this thing. Play the video.
And I'm just saying, guys, we're not saying...
Yes, we are.
No, we're not.
You clearly are.
I'm clearly playing devil's advocate here, alright? I know that obviously humans aren't too far from like instincts and stuff like that, because I feel like we're saying this
You don't have to explain that to them. If they think we're stupid, let them think we're stupid. If they think we're smart, let them think we're smart. We don't have to explain nothing to them.
Alright, we're not explaining nothing to you, alright?
Yeah.
You hear it here first.
We're American, that's our excuse.
Because chimpanzees are some of the most violent and subtle things with a pulse.
Quiet.
One of the worst ways to meet your higher creator is to have a chimpanzee book the appointment. Yet somehow an animal directly related to them is a perpetual pacifist. At number 6 is our closest cousin in the animal world, the bonobo. They look like chimps nature tried to draw strictly from memory, but their personalities are polar opposites. Their societies are built on love and peace, which is why there are rarely cases of bonobos killing each other. Also, they're female dominated. But unlike other matriarchal social circles, not all the females in the bonobo circle are necessarily related. And while there is a hierarchy, they do look out for each other. High-ranking females will often even defend newcomers from the unwanted advances of males. Instead of castrating each other like their murderous cousins, bonobos solve conflicts with affection. They are the hippie chimps of the Congo. Only thing is, sometimes they're a little too affectionate, which is why any movie starring bonobos is rated B. As in, be sure to have to talk with your kids before you go see them in the zoo, or they may come home with questions you might not be prepared to answer. They be fornicating. A lot. But these apes on ecstasy using no pants dance as a way to reinforce bonds within the group and solve disputes without actually causing injury, which makes them the most unproblematic thing with thumbs in the world. But it's also why finding safe for work videos of them was veteran difficulty. One wrong move in what they like to do to each other, guidelines will do to me. Swans are often considered the mascot of peace, love, and loyalty. I rebuke that. Swans are mean-spirited Q-tips off pretty privilege. But for a bird that apparently mates for life, swans
say they
actually
go
have a
off
divorce
pretty
rate of about
privilege.
5%. Meaning on average, 1 in every 20 swan couples calls it quits during breeding season.
But isn't it illegal to kill swans here?
It's illegal to kill most animals.
No, I mean like to hunt swans.
It's illegal to hunt any animal, mate.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You can't freaking go kill foxes.
Of course you can.
You can't
Why
do
not?
that. You can't do that. It's illegal.
Flamingos, on the other hand, believe in
You're
determined
monogamy,
enough.
and believes in birth control.
Have you been killing
They have a
animals?
divorce rate of about 99%. And penguins aren't even worth discussing since they'll cheat on their partner with a hole in the ground. But the most faithful of the birds is the albatross, with a divorce rate between 1 and 3%. The albatross will spend years waiting for the right mate. These seabirds can easily live into their late 50s, so if they got one thing, it's time. Once two albatrosses do pair up, they'll perform a synchronized dance ritual to strengthen their pair bond. It's like the bird version of renewing their vows. Single albatrosses will spend years practicing and perfecting the courting dance, so they have the choreography down by the time they
Looks like
actually
it's trying to bop to hip
And with
hop.
their lifespan, these couples often spend decades raising chick after chick. Breakups are rare, and it's usually a result of multiple years of breeding failure. Climate change has also caused a slight rise in albatross divorces, but I'm not about to hold that against them. They're like the seahorse, except they're a lot less likely to dip out on their partner, and infinitely less likely to turn their children into a kid's meal. It takes a lot for me to give a bird props, and the albatross 100% earns it.
It's cool, man.
It wasn't a matter of if, but when quokkas were going to make an appearance. Google the happiest animal on Earth and you'll get one trying to bear hug you through the screen.
A hamster.
Like the pangolin, the quokka was guaranteed a spot on this list on their appearance alone. Being the most photogenic thing in nature counts for something. And since quokkas on rottenness have no natural predators, they have little to no fear of humans, which is how quokka selfies became a thing. Quokkas are such mascots
they have
of
no natural
positivity that they
predators.
single-handedly boost tourist numbers to rottenness the way LeBron did to Cleveland. In fact, you're probably surprised, not that quokkas are here, but that they're not ranked higher. Well, there's always going to be people that take things too far, and that often gets them attacked by quokkas, and oftentimes it's the children getting the worst of it. To be fair, going viral
children have no
could have
limits.
happened to them.
Facts.
Tourists often treat them as a plush toy rather than a wild animal, and that often gets them dealt with appropriately. And as their lack of fear towards humans gets taken advantage of, the quokka ironically gets abused by those same humans. Which
What?
of course means them lashing out
humans
has
are
nothing to
gonna
do with them and everything to do
take
with us.
advantage.
There's also this. While quokkas don't actively yeet their children, mothers will loosen muscles in their pouch as a last resort when being chased by a predator. So as the screaming, writhing Joey falls and distracts the predator, Mom of the Year gets to live to make another baby.
I can always
Which
have
makes
another
sense
baby,
in
bye.
regards to you'd rather lose the baby than the baby maker. But that kind of parenting does you no favors in a list like this. But it doesn't change the fact that when this travel-sized kangaroo steps up, depression hears boss music. Google "we don't deserve" and it'll autofill dogs in your search box. Google knows what's up. The irony is that the animal we got dogs from had every reason to hate us. Thousands of years ago, wolves and humans hunted the same prey and were each other's biggest competition. But then we teamed up, and now you can expect to find a dog in millions of homes worldwide. From apex predator to devoted house pet, there are just too many wholesome facts about dogs to count. For example, studies showed that dogs are more likely to approach someone who's crying rather than someone who's talking or just humming, and that's regardless of whether it was their owner or just a stranger. In the same experiment, dogs would approach a stranger with submissive body language, almost as if they were trying to comfort them. Another experiment showed that dogs actually preferred interacting.
I'm gonna get a dog. Dogs are absolutely
Make up
amazing.
your mind, Brian. First you said you're getting a cat.
No,
then
I
you said
think
you're
I
getting a
definitely
dog.
want a dog. Dogs are amazing, man. They're so cute.
Mum, what, you gonna get her to box it? Move, bro.
I'm practicing.
Move, bro.
Man, let me practice.
Move.
Let me pet you.
I didn't say I was getting a dog. Move.
Let me pet you.
Pet
You
yourself,
are my
man.
dog. Oh my god, you're so violent. What kind of dog are you?
With individuals who use high-pitched baby voices with them instead of those who use normal, deeper voices.
Wait, they
But
what?
my individuals, almost as if they were trying to comfort.
Maybe if you're
So
listening,
this
Shut up.
experiment showed that dogs actually preferred interacting with individuals who use high-pitched baby voices with them instead of those who use normal, deeper voices. But my personal favorite, when a dog and its owner make eye contact, both bodies release oxytocin, which is considered a love hormone. which just so happens to be the same one released when a mother and a newborn interact. You don't have to say anything, you don't have to touch them. You can stare at your dog and you'd be bonding. Which says a lot since their cousin the wolf sees that same eye contact as a challenge. Not only that, but dogs are one of the few animals that understand the gesture of pointing. Meaning you could point at something across the room and a dog will understand to look in the direction you're pointing, where most animals will just be interested in your finger. Little things like that only happen after hundreds of years of being right by our side. We have service dogs, emotional support dogs, medical response and police dogs. Basically any job worth having can have a dog involved somehow. We even trust them with our children. We might not deserve dogs, but dogs 100%
gonna take
deserve
over
this
one
spot.
day. Dogs are gonna take over one day.
Yeah, we're just gonna have dogs instead of kids.
Can you guess what animal's next?
No. Can you?
What animal would you consider cute?
Dogs. No, you guess.
Silver
See? You weren't gonna
medal
guess
of
that.
wholesomeness
Pig.
goes to the capybara. No matter where this plus-size guinea pig pulls up, it's always with good vibes and zero conflict. There are entire threads of cappies existing around other animals completely unbothered. The thing is, they could be a complete menace and it'd be totally justified. Capybara live in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in the world and often share an area code with predators like jaguar, caiman, anacondas, and eagles. And it's not like these buffed beavers are tanky enough to have no worries. They often fall prey to those same predators. Normally, any animal that can get meal prepped by so many others is often high-strung and hyper-aggressive by nature. Nature knows zebras use that excuse. But not only are capybara the complete 180, you'll even see them around the same animals they should be afraid of. Cause this heavyweight hamster is allergic to most forms of conflict. Which is why when a bunch of orphan puppies needed a foster
food.
mom, it was a capybara that stepped up. So as chill as they
Delivered.
are, capybara are still roided up rodents with teeth that they will use to defend themselves against people. But like with the quokka, if you manage to make this horse rabbit angry, you definitely did something to deserve it. Aside from that, a happy cappy is one of the most wholesome sights in nature. But they just barely miss out on the #1 spot.
Go on.
I'll keep it
Go
simple.
on.
No, I'll keep it simple this time. Obviously, we don't know the specific animal, but can you guess like whether it's like a mammal or
Can you
sea
guess?
life? I think it's gonna be sea life. So a
Sea
fish.
life.
I think it's gonna be a fish. Today, please. You know, it's just you don't really have the luxury
Sea
to take your
life.
time.
I don't think it's gonna be a fish.
You don't have to agree with me. Just make your guess.
It's got to be. Oh, it's gonna be a whale. Actually, yeah. Sea life. No, a whale's a mammal. It's gonna be a whale. Mammal.
I thought I was gonna psych you out. I think it's gonna be a mammal.
Of course the manatee was going to be #1. My personal bias would allow no other. Because their teeth are way in the back of their mouths, manatees are physically incapable of inflicting
I was
any
right
form of
both
violence.
times.
Even when they really should have. There are no recorded cases of manatees attacking other animals or people. The closest you get would be a water balloon curiously approaching you and accidentally knocking you off your paddleboard. Alligators are seasoned prehistoric killing machines, and even they give manatees the right of way in the water. Also, its
Oh,
closest
that's so
relative
cute.
happens to be the elephant, so again, any spot other than #1 would be an insult. The only problem is their natural curiosity can put them in harm's way when humans, especially boats, are involved. Laws had to be put in place to protect manatees from harassment since we all know they're not going to defend themselves. They're literally too unproblematic for their own good. Dogs kill thousands of people a year, and someone in the world right now is walking around with a scar from not respecting a quokka's space. But you won't find a person who's been seriously hurt by this gentle giant. Because in a world full of darkness, the sea squishy is a beacon of positivity. But that's gonna do it for this video.
That's
For daily
super
uploads,
cute.
be sure to follow my TikTok and Instagram. Especially Instagram, since they don't want to give me my blue check. To watch videos before I post them, also consider becoming a patron on Patreon. If you don't
No.
want to
that
do that,
sounds
kindly
interesting.
consider subscribing. It's free and
No.
there's no better price than that. Also,
course.
for every person that watches this and doesn't sub, a manatee sheds a tear. And only a monster would allow that to happen.
Yeah.
All that
Absolutely
aside,
would
drink
allow
water,
that to
hug your
happen.
mother,
Absolutely.
Support your local manatees legally, and I'll see you in the next
Don't
one.
like his videos.
Don't.
We want the manatees to cry.
Exactly.
It helps them out.
Exactly.
Crying makes you feel good.
Makes you stronger. You grow as a human being.
What doesn't make you cry?
What
kills
doesn't kill you make you stronger.
Anyway, guys, I'm gonna spare you from this. Like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all the good stuff. Comment, reaction, suggestions below, and we shall see you in the next one in a bit.
Adios.